r/AskReddit by Redmond Dtes. What's the most savage thing someone said to you casually? I thought you would at least have a good personality, since you look like that. This is why people talk about you when you're not around. Some guy who was a customer at my old store came in. I was telling him how I went and saw Joe Satriani, the guitar player, and he says, "Oh, that guy's a has-been." Meanwhile, I know this dude plays at coffee shops and stuff and thinks he's all that. So I say, I guess it's better to be a has-been than a never has-been like you. Conversation over. I made a fat joke to one of my friends once. He said, "The only reason I'm fat is because every time I screwed your mum, she gave me a cookie." Still haven't socially recovered from that one. When I asked a coworker out for dinner, she replied, "I wouldn't turn down a free dinner, but just so we're clear, I wouldn't screw you for practice." That's the last time I ever asked a woman out. My mom once said, "You were such a cute kid." I'm not sure what happened. My dad used to tell my brother and I that we ruined his life all of the time. That sort of sucked. I hope you cut him out of your life and never looked back. The pandemic and Trump sealed that deal a long time ago. I had been in a coma for COVID for 7 days. I asked if they had put me on a feeding tube. The doctor said no. I asked why not. He pointed at my stomach and said, "Look at you, you weren't going to starve." Thanks, doc. Was breaking down mentally and was super depressed. Wife, then, was discussion how shitty I was, and I explained I felt so low, like I don't belong anywhere, and I just feel alone. She said, "Don't you have people for that?" Served her divorce papers promptly after, and my life had improved vastly since. I went through a bout of cancer 10 years ago. When I told a coworker about my diagnosis, she said, "Everyone in my life is dropping dead like flies these days." From my 6-year-old daughter. Your face hurts my feelings. I wonder what it feels like to be divorced. We had just got married. I showed my dad my writing for the first time, and he was scared and disgusted after reading it, and said, "You should rename this to Diary of a Psychopath." Stuck in my head for years when I sat down to write. Side note, that short story won my annual college literary contest after my teacher submitted it on my behalf without me knowing. That helped roll some of that inner critic trauma back, but just a little. God, you are goofy. I was a tall, awkward 20-year-old trying to build confidence. Hit me way harder than it should have, coming from someone I had interest in. Years later, I'm a tall, awkward 40-year-old, but confident in my goofiness. During COVID, I momentarily pulled down my mask, and a coworker said, "Wow, you have such a small mouth for somebody who has such a big mouth." From my father. I could have had 7 sons. I was 15 at my grandfather's retirement party. A guy my mom went to high school with started chatting me up. Eventually he got around to it. You know, had things gone differently, you'd be calling me daddy. Dude, really? F you and your Joe Dirt mullet. If I had your illness, I would have unalived myself years ago. More than one person who learned about my disability felt like this was an appropriate thing to say somehow. This is not okay, and not a compliment. Yes, I have pain and bad days, but I also have a good life, a loving partner, a nice part-time paid job with awesome colleagues, 2 cute dogs, and I find joy in a lot of small things non-disabled people would never notice. I didn't give birth to you, I shat you. From my mom. People with your illness usually go to Switzerland and end their lives. You're the only Australian I know, and you're not my favorite. Mom once told me, "You have a face only a mother could love." I wish I would have never had you. Thanks mom. That's all folks. Thank you for watching. If you like videos like this one, why not like and subscribe for more? Have a nice evening.